Now, in that Georgia case, the other people who've received target letters, the other people who've been told to expect that they may be indicted in that criminal case, they're all people, besides Rudy Giuliani, who are implicated in the fake electors plot, this plot to send in forged documents naming fake electors for Trump in states that didn't have Trump electors because Biden won those states. That fake electors thing is a criminal matter in Georgia. It's also a matter under federal criminal investigation as well. But there's one thing I think worth pointing out about that I think has been lost by so many of these gonzo headlines in today's news. Remember how we learned about the fake electors scheme, how we learned about how it came together and how we learned about it being under federal investigation. You might remember about the fake electors that it sort of started as something that looked like a bunch of disparate efforts in disparate states. Some people pretending to be electors who weren't really electors in Georgia. Another group trying to do the same thing in Michigan. Another group trying to do it, but sort of differently, in the state of Arizona. It looked different in a whole bunch of different states when that happened and when that first came to public attention. That matter, the fake electors thing, appears to have become a federal criminal investigation rather than just an investigation in individual states, when it became apparent that this thing wasn't just spontaneously happening in multiple states. It was an organized thing. The Trump campaign and other people around President Trump organized that effort around the country. These weren't just disparate things that were happening in different states at the same time, sort of by happenstance, by coincidence. It was an organized, central, top-down effort. That is the pattern that we saw happen with the fake electors thing. Today, that same pattern started to become apparent in another thing they did to try to overturn the election results, specifically the effort to grab voting machines, to seize supposedly secure voting equipment and tabulators in multiple states, even though that equipment is very highly regulated and is only supposed to have people are only supposed to have access to it under very tightly controlled circumstances. Now, there have been criminal charges brought already in the state of Colorado for Trump folks seizing and corrupting voting equipment there. The same thing is under criminal investigation in multiple jurisdictions in Michigan as well. But now today, the Washington Post reports that in Colorado, in Michigan, in Nevada, in Georgia, in a whole bunch of states, these folks messing with the voting equipment apparently weren't just spontaneously acting on their own to illegally access all this equipment they weren't supposed to be able to touch. They didn't just all have the same idea all at once, independently, coincidentally. The Washington Post reports today in something of a bombshell that just like with the fake electors, this one, too, appears to have been a centrally coordinated effort run by people close to Trump, including at least one Trump campaign lawyer. Again, with the fake electors thing, it was evidence of the Trump campaign's involvement, their national coordination of what otherwise looked like disparate efforts in a whole bunch of states. That's apparently what led to the now ongoing federal criminal investigation of the fake electors scheme. As of today, the Washington Post reports that there was a similar central organized effort running these schemes to seize and corrupt secure voting machines in multiple states, and that it was linked to the Trump campaign. So, all of us who've been trying to track all these things, we're all going to have to add another column to the billboard-sized spreadsheets we're all maintaining now, trying to keep track of the various criminal investigations that surround the last president.